What if Atlantis wasn't just a myth, but an ancient city hidden beneath the waves and found by accident near Cuba? That's exactly what happened in the early 2000s, when a team scanning the ocean floor for submarines made an incredible discovery: massive stone formations nearly 2,000 feet underwater, with geometric shapes and structure like outlines. The find lit up headlines and raised one huge question: had scientists just stumbled across the lost city of Atlantis? In this video, we'll unpack what was found, what it could mean, and whether this legendary city might actually be real. You're watching Interestingly Quick, and this mystery runs deep. In 2001, a team led by Paulina Zalitsky, a Canadian engineer working with the Cuban government, was scanning the seafloor off the western coast of Cuba. They were looking for Spanish shipwrecks using sonar. What they found instead was shocking, massive stone structures, some resembling pyramids, roads, and geometric buildings, sitting nearly 2,000 feet beneath the surface. The shapes weren't natural. They appeared to be man-made and ancient. The discovery was made off the Guanahacoibes Peninsula in the Yucatan Channel between Cuba and Mexico. This area isn't typically associated with lost civilizations. It's remote, rarely studied, and extremely deep, far deeper than where ancient structures are usually found. That depth raised a critical question: how could anything built by humans end up that far down? The only way that makes sense is if it was once above sea level and then sank dramatically. Sonar scans revealed formations spread across a large area, rectangular and circular patterns, aligned stone blocks, and even what appeared to be step-like features. Some were measured at hundreds of feet long. The arrangement suggested urban planning, not random geology. Zalitsky and her team compared it to ancient city layouts, possibly even older than the pyramids. This wasn't a pile of rocks. It looked like a ruined city, far older than anything we've previously found in the Caribbean. The ruins were found under 2,000 feet of water, which presents a huge problem. Sea levels haven't been that low for over 50,000 years. If the structures are man-made, they would have had to be built before any known civilization. That would shatter timelines for human development. No known society was capable of stone construction at that time, unless there was a completely unknown, advanced culture that predated every record we have. Plato described Atlantis as an advanced civilization that existed 9,000 years before his time, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, modern Gibraltar, which disappeared in a single day and night of misfortune. The Cuban site fits some key parts of that description: a large landmass, suddenly submerged, with evidence of urban development. The timing and geography aren't perfect matches, but the parallels were close enough to spark global curiosity and new investigations into the Cuban underwater ruins. Geologists were quick to weigh in, suggesting the formations might be natural rock formations such as pillow basalt or erosion patterns. Underwater currents and tectonic shifts can create strangely symmetrical features, but even skeptics admitted that some of the patterns, especially the alignments and right angles, were highly unusual. Until a submersible could explore it visually and take samples, the mystery would remain unsolved. Later expeditions using ROVs, remotely operated vehicles, captured grainy underwater footage. The video showed stacked stones, sharp edges, and what some interpreted as steps or platforms. One structure looked like a pyramid base with flat sides and defined corners. The quality of the footage made it hard to confirm, but the shapes weren't easily dismissed. Something unusual lies at the bottom of that channel, whether natural or built. Paulina Zalitsky proposed that the ruins belonged to a pre-Ice Age civilization, possibly wiped out during a cataclysmic event, like rising seas or a massive earthquake. She connected the find to ancient Cuban and Central American myths about sunken lands and drowned cities. Her theory: an advanced coastal culture once flourished here, then vanished, leaving behind only stone remnants, and we're only now catching traces of it beneath the waves. Despite global attention, follow-up research was slow. Why? The site is in Cuban territorial waters, and US-Cuba relations were tense. American universities and institutions couldn't legally collaborate, funding was scarce, and the deep-sea equipment needed was expensive. For years, the site remained largely unexplored. A once hot discovery fell into scientific limbo, not proven false, but not confirmed either. As the word Atlantis entered headlines, things got complicated. Media sensationalism took over. Every sonar scan became a temple, every shadow Statue. The real data got buried under myths and hype. Some researchers distanced themselves, but underneath the noise, the core question remains, what really lies beneath that stretch of ocean? The answer still hasn't come, and maybe that's why it still fascinates us. If the structures are real, they would force a rewrite of history, suggesting that advanced societies existed tens of thousands of years earlier than believed. That idea isn't just science fiction anymore. From Göbekli Tepe in Turkey to submerged cities off India's coast, we're finding more and more evidence of highly developed ancient societies, previously dismissed because they didn't fit established timelines. The Cuban site may be part of that hidden past. With today's tech, why hasn't the site been explored in detail? The answer: money, politics, and risk. Deep sea archaeology is extremely expensive. The site is hard to reach and scan properly, and because it sits in Cuban waters, international access is limited until there's full cooperation and full funding. It may remain largely untouched. The result: a potentially world-shifting discovery sits just out of reach, frozen in silence. Most mainstream archaeologists remain skeptical. Without physical samples, carbon dating, or clearer imagery, the site can't be confirmed. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, as Carl Sagan said. So far, that evidence hasn't reached academic standards. But researchers agree on one thing: something strange is down there, and it's worth another look. The sonar data is real, the depth is real, the mystery still very much alive. Atlantis, or not, this discovery is significant. It may not be the legendary island described by Plato, but it could represent a lost piece of human history, a civilization erased by water, remembered only in scattered myths. Whether it's Atlantis, an unknown coastal culture, or a stunning natural formation, it reminds us that the ocean still holds secrets, and we've barely begun to look. Less than 5% of the ocean floor has been fully mapped. That means we don't even know what's down there. The Cuban city may be the first of many surprises hiding beneath the waves. And as technology improves, the line between legend and history will blur. The next Atlantis might not be a myth. It might just be waiting, covered in coral, guarded by silence, and visible only to those who know where to look. So, did they really find Atlantis near Cuba? We don't know for sure, but what they did find is enough to keep the mystery alive. Something lies under that water, ancient, unexplained, and still unanswered. If this left you questioning everything, drop a like, comment your theory, and subscribe to Interestingly Quick for more deep dives into the unknown. Until next time, stay curious and keep searching. The ocean's not done yet.